Welcome to ASHA's IS Institute, taking a look at current affairs for 16th October 2016, Sunday. The first news item is Russia gives S-400 systems to boost India's air defense. So these air defense systems will be given to India through an intergovernmental agreement on the sidelines of the BRICS summit which India and Russia have signed. So 5 of these systems will be provided to India. Then the next news item is Saraswati did exist, says experts. So this is regarding the Saraswati river, which is today not known. It does not exist presently, but experts have presently found paleo channels which reveal that this river did exist. So this is a study about that. We'll see that. Next is IIT Bombay researchers a step closer to treating Parkinson's. So Parkinson's disease, which is due to nerve cells or neurons being affected. So the dopamine chemical which is present between these neurons do not exist in sufficient quantity, and that results in the motor system not functioning. So the nervous system controls the body's motor system, how the body functions, moves, your hands movement, legs movement and everything. So that is affected. So generally the symptom of this Parkinson's disease is also the shaking of hands in patients, or so is generally seen. So it generally comes at a later stage, that is after the age of 60 years. But even in younger population too, Parkinson's is sometimes seen. So a breakthrough, there is no cure for this Parkinson's disease, but presently IIT Bombay researchers have found a way to insert stem cells. They are doing this experiment on mice. They have inserted stem cells in them and they want these stem cells to be converted into neurons. So the neurons, nerve cells will be regenerated. So then this Parkinson's disease can be eliminated. So treated. So that is the research being done. They have come very close to it. They have had the stem cells inserted and those stem cells have become neuron-like but not exactly neuron. So they are very close to it and they are confident they will find a breakthrough. Then the next news item is grow local species, say botanist after Nilgiri's visit. So there is a UK botanist who had visited the Nilgiris in India in the south, and he said that they should grow local species because it is seen presently that invasive species take over the entire biological landscape, because of which the local species are affected and biodiversity is affected. So rather people should indulge in the habit of growing local species rather than having exotic and invasive species. So that is his recommendation to India, and basically he is talking about eucalyptus, which is presently seen in Nilgiris in large numbers. Eucalyptus itself is known in Hindi as Nilgiri. So he doesn't want eucalyptus, which is not a local plant there, being grown, but local species should be grown in that region. Then the next is we are more an election only democracy. So this was a statement made recently by Ramchandra Guha, the historian, and he said this, that we are not elections only democracy and not an electoral democracy. So an electoral democracy means that post-elections to democracy prevails. But in India, it seems that elections take place, that time we are a democracy because of elections, and once elections are done, the government is formed. For 5 years, it seems that democracy is non-existent or is severely affected. So he says, even if we are 80% democracy in terms of elections, in terms of functioning democracy, we are 50% a democracy because of the constraints which are put on the civil societies these days. So that is the freedom which should be there, which is not present in India to the extent expected. So that's what he's saying, that government once in power seems to feel that for 5 years then there is nobody questioning them, nobody should ask any questions to them. So those are his views. Next is weighing in on sugar. We have already seen this earlier too. World Health Organization said that even at least 20% increase in the prices of sugary drinks will result in lowering their consumption levels, and that will result in population being saved from diseases like obesity, type 2 diabetes and so on. So that is the recommendation here. Next is the end TB strategy. So tuberculosis. The incidence of tuberculosis is the highest in India. So around 27% of TB incidence all over the world is in India. So that is the burden on us, and 37% of TB deaths are also in India. So that is the way, how much, to what extent TB affects India. So there is need to be a way out from this. DOTS, directly observed treatment short course, is generally recommended for this, and that is important because people do not take the prescriptions till the end. So whatever medicines are prescribed have to be taken regularly and the course should be completed. So once the course is not completed, it results in TB resistance being generated, and we presently hear of different types of TB. Multi-drug resistant TB, extremely multi-drug resistance TB. So those kind of TBs come because of this resistance, because of the course not being taken completely. So that's why DOTS. This was directly observed treatment, so that people are taking the treatment or not is also known by the government officials. So that is the case. Then the next is, what is an electronic paper? So electronic paper or e-paper is a new technology which has been developed, in which the paper, a very thin film, can be used for reading. So it's something like Kindle but much more efficient in terms of energy consumption, and it can be used even in sunlight. It's actually to be used in sunlight because it has this e-ink which gets reflected only in sunlight. So that is the benefit of this e-paper. Then next is Kigali makes history with HFC freeze. So in Kigali we had presently the meeting taking place on amendment to the Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol of 1987, which is for substances that deplete the ozone layer. So this is a protocol to the Vienna Convention on the depletion of the ozone layer. So this Montreal Protocol has been the most successful environmental agreement internationally, and this has completed its course. The substances that deplete the ozone layer are basically containing chlorine and bromine. So hydrochlorocarbons, hydrofluorochlorocarbons have been eliminated because of the Montreal Protocol, and the ozone hole has also reduced. The ozone hole, which is majorly seen in Antarctica, and that is majorly seen in Antarctica because of the specific conditions in those regions, extremely cooler climates and all. So that is the ozone layer depletion protocol. Now what has happened is these substances that deplete the ozone layer have been phased out, but other substances which have replaced them, like instead of chlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons were used. So they don't contain chlorine. So means they don't deplete the ozone layer. Means HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons. But still they are greenhouse gases, and they are much more severe than even carbon dioxide, and as severe greenhouse gases as CFCs too. So they should be phased out too. So another replacement for chlorofluorocarbons are required. So that will be through research, but this protocol is now targeting not substances that deplete the ozone layer but other greenhouse gases. So this agreement has come as a breakthrough which is to be appreciated. Then the next news is India and Hungary signed 2 agreements. The Vice President of India, Hamid Ansari, is on a visit to Hungary, and there we have signed agreement on water management and other commercial agreements too. And the last news item is Center to widen social security law dialogue. So we want a comprehensive unified social security law for workers both in organized and unorganized sector. So government is looking into bringing in consensus between trade unions, industrialists and government bodies also. So that will be a breakthrough, that a unified social security law comes into effect. So this is a work in progress. So these are the items. We'll look at each of them too now in detail. First one, Russia gives S-400 systems to boost India's air defense. So these S-400 systems are these. You can take a look. They are called Trump missiles. In NATO, they are called SA-21 Growler missiles, and they are a missile system which will help in defense against aircrafts coming into India. So airborne targets up to 400 kilometers can be targeted by this. So this has been provided even to China by Russia as recent as in 2015, and now we have also signed an agreement for this. It's a 39,000 crore agreement, intergovernmental agreement for transfer of these S-400 missile systems. Then the next which we have got from Russia is Krivak or Talwar class stealth frigates. So these are warships. We have already acquired them. They are called Talwar class in India, Krivak in Russia. We have already acquired 6. Now we are getting 4 more additionally to this. We wanted this to be a part of Make in India, so the agreement has been delayed, but eventually now it has come through. Even another problem in this agreement was that some parts were being built by Ukraine. So Ukraine and Russia's ties had been affected, because of which Ukraine was not ready to cooperate, but now it has also come on board. So this deal has been signed. So we'll get 4 additional Krivak or Talwar class stealth frigates. It has been armed with BrahMos missile, which is a supersonic cruise missile jointly developed between India and Russia. BrahMos stands for Brahmaputra and Moscow, the two rivers of India and Russia. So it's a joint program through which the supersonic cruise missile was developed. And the third thing which we have got from Russia presently is Kamov 2260 helicopters. So these will replace the obsolete Chetak and Cheetah fleets which we have, helicopters, and they will be able to fly as high as 20,000 feet. So they can be used even in the Siachen Glacier region. And this has been done through a joint venture. So a Make in India aspect comes into this helicopter deal. So Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, has a deal with a state corporation, Rostec, in Russia. And the last one is Kudankulam nuclear power plant. So this Kudankulam plant has been provided to India from Russia, and we have started off. Unit 1, 2 have already been finalized. Now have been started functioning. They have become critical too. Unit 3 and 4 has been started. Ground laying work for them has been started. So that inauguration ground laying work was done by Indian and Russian Prime Ministers together in Kudankulam presently, which is in Tamil Nadu. And last one was an information security deal which India and Russia signed on counter-terrorism, drug trafficking and illegal cross-border activities. And the nuclear programs or plants which we have all over India can be seen here. You need to make a study of this. Please do. Kudankulam is here in Tamil Nadu. This is very important from prelims perspective. Then the next is Saraswati River did exist. So this is the plan which they show that Saraswati, which was a Himalayan river, flowed through Haryana and Rajasthan into run of Kutch, and it was draining into Arabian Sea. So this is a mysterious river. They have found paleo channels which show that a river did exist, and these remnants show that this was the path of the river. So they have put up a complete paper in front of the Ministry of Water Resources, Uma Bharti, and Minister is Uma Bharti. And this is the Saraswati River. Today the successor to Saraswati River is called Ghaggar. Luni is another river here, which is an inland river which does not drain out. It gets lost in Rajasthan. Even Ghaggar is also not a river flowing throughout. It flows during the rainy seasons only. So they call Yamuna and Ghaggar as part of the Saraswati. So now Yamuna's flow has changed. Also Satluj, which is part of the Punjab, 5 rivers, tributaries of Indus, was also said to be part of Saraswati River. Then the next news item is about Parkinson's disease breakthrough. So this has been done by the IIT Bombay researchers. They have inserted stem cells in the mice and they are making research on this. So this is about the Parkinson's disease also, that it results in the motor system affected. So it's a nervous system disorder which affects the motor system because nervous system controls that body movements. So symptoms are like shaking, rigidity, slowness in movement. It also sometimes results in dementia. Causes are not known, but yes, it affects the nerve cells. They die, and because of which dopamine presence decreases, which is a neurotransmitter which transmits signals from nerve cells to motor cells, and motor system can function. And also there is no cure for this disease, which has been the research going on. So this is dopamine neuron cells, normal movement. It's the dopamine present here. In Parkinson's disease, this dopamine reduces. Then about the local species, this botanist is talking of eucalyptus, which is an invasive species, should not be grown. Rather, local species should be grown. Plus another invasive species he speaks of is Himalayan balsam, which is also known for the touch-me-not leaves which they have. So this is also again another invasive species in India. So these should not be grown, but local species, afforestation should be with these. Like in Nilgiris, it should be the shola trees which should be grown. Next is about Ramchandra Guha saying, we are more an elections only democracy. So as a nation state, he says we are 80% successful, but as a democracy, we are only 50% successful. We are not an electoral democracy, but only an elections only democracy. Means elections time, we are a democracy, elections are conducted properly. We are known for it, the electoral system in India. But once the government comes to power for 5 years, then electoral system is put back and civil societies the restrictions put on it is what he is talking about basically. So this is about it. The other items we'll see in another article, so another video which will be uploaded. Please do watch that too. Thank you.